Hello and welcome everyone to the third episode of Takeover United Pod, where Somdeep, Rohan, and I take over your weekend with all things Manchester United. Basically, that's how we depress you. Um, so this week we haven't had a match yet. There was no midweek game, and the weekend's game is actually tonight. So we thought we'll have a slightly different episode for you this time. Um, we first wanted to kind of wrap the transfer window discussion that we had last episode. We never discussed transfer window incomings in the January window. So we'll have a quick discussion on that. And then we will actually do, we decided why not we help Amorim, right? So we'll create what we think is the best possible lineup out of the bang average players that we have. And a last minute decision we made was also that we'll make a second lineup that accounts for all the injuries we have. Because right now we have, I think, 9 injuries in our first team, but yeah, we'll get to that. Um, yeah, and then yeah, those are the main things that we have for you today. But first, transfer window incomings. Let's start with Patrick Dorgu. So Somdeep, what's your take on Patrick Dorgu?
Um, yeah, I think Dorgo is he's a pretty talented left wing back. He's young. Uh, he's had about I think a year and a half with Lecce in Serie A. Uh, I feel like from what I've seen, the little I've seen of him in Serie A and from the PL, his strengths obviously include his athleticism. I think he's very good at inverting into midfield. uh, I know that the common understanding of with him is that he is a wing back, and he's a solid one at that. But I also see a lot of strengths in how he makes runs into the center of midfield and actually progresses through the lines of the press. So I feel he has that in his locker. Um, I think it brings a lot of dynamism to this United squad, which desperately lacks that. You know, and he also brings a left-footed wing back, which we don't have. Period. So that's wonderful. That's a wonderful change. Um, so yeah, like having seen all of that, how I see it going for him. mm, he's young, but he showed a lot of composure on the ball when he played on debut. I think he probably will slot in comfortably into the Premier League. I don't know how it's going to work with the tactics per se, but to me, his best position appears to be at left wing back, just because we don't have a natural left footer on that side, and he can make those deep runs to the byline for us, and we'd really benefit from it. So yeah, I'm excited to see how he helps us get out of this mess.
Yeah, agreed. Young player, but um, let me put this to Rowan. Rowan, do you think we should have gotten back Carreras instead?
Um,
Especially considering that our management keeps going on about what to say, that we are on a tight budget, right? We are very close to PSR calculations. So and Carreras we had a buyback clause, right? So do you think we should have gone for him instead of Torgo?
from what I saw in the media, uh, Dorgu was on the list, and even Carreras was an option.
Hmm.
And w- what I've seen is that Dorgu was placed higher on the list, like for the priority for a purchase for a left wing back. So not sure what United were going with that. Like what was the reasoning for them to pursue Dorgu over bringing back Carreras? Overall, if I look at both the players, right, I think both are left wing backs, sure, and we've got a left wing back now in Dorgu, which is great. We finally have a wing back. Like the, I think this is the first signing, first step in the right direction. If you look at the cost, yes, Carreras would have been much cheaper, but if I don't think we have overpaid for Dorgu. I think it's a decent deal. I wouldn't say it's cheap. I wouldn't say it's too costly as well, too expensive as well. For a profile fit, I think it's great. Like uh, Carreras has moved to left back, playing for Benfica, and not sure why they have been shifted there. Why he's been shifted there, but I think Dorgu is like he was playing as a wing back, and I think he has the attributes for us to like be successful in that role. So I would say that we should still wait it out and see how Dorgu works out. Profile wise, he's a great fit. He's athletic. He's six, I think 6'1", 6'2", I think in height, and like he has that dribbling ability that we need. He has that ability to take on players. Also, he has this ability where he, you know, makes those late runs into the box, which we
Right.
absolutely need from the wing backs.
Yeah.
And that is very key. Like he will give us that attacking impetus that we need going forward. Like for something which would have got from like the expensive wing backs, right? Like if you look at the best wing backs right now, maybe like Grimaldo from Leverkusen, or even like a yeah. So obviously we are not gonna get that right now. So
Yeah.
in terms of ability, in terms of potential, I think we have a really good player on our hands, and would
Right.
definitely love for it to work out.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. It was just funny to me that to see how far the club has fallen, that a player at Leverkusen we think is beyond our reach now.
Yeah, true, true, true.
Yeah, I mean, and you know what's really upsetting about Grimaldo to Leverkusen is they got him on a free.
Oh well. Yeah. Also wanted to. So I think you both can see this comparison that I've pulled up from Data MP. Let me share it to the stream as well. So this is. Uh, Sorry, give me 1 second. Yeah. So this is a comparison of. Uh, yeah, Patrick Dorgu and Alvaro Carreras, right? So what do you think from this graph? Like obviously they're in different leagues, right? So you have to put some kind of normalization for that, which you can't. But I mean, it does look to me, except cross percentages, that Alvaro is a, I don't know, seems to be a better player from this. And I think Alvaro is also wing back, right? I remember the reason we sent him off during Ten Hag's time was because he's a wing back and we need a full back. So what do you guys think of this?
I think if Dorgu can, if you can see Dorgu's plot as well, like he's better. Like he's got a same kind of numbers for carrying as well as a bit better for crossing.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. So if he can give those things to us in attack, like for me, I think the focus of the wing back has to be of more attacking rather than defending. In this, at least in this system, I don't think the expectation will be more towards attack and less towards the defense. If he can give us what we need in attack, like those like late runs which I was talking about, or even carrying the ball through the wings or the midfield, or making the right runs from the wing,
Yeah.
making the overlapping or the underlapping runs. If he can do those things, I think we, like, over the line, over the years, we won't feel that, okay, maybe we should have got Carreras, because we have this, right, because he's doing the job for us. So if he can do that for us, I think we should be fine. Like, I wouldn't mind. But again, like, if Carreras goes on to play for a 3-5 to another team. Let's say he transfers from Benfica and he goes somewhere else and he ends up playing a left wing back in that. Then we would be more like, it would be a better assessment for him as well, like how well he does over the years for the left wing back role.
Yeah.
But as long as Dorgu, like, the potential is definitely there, and as long as we are able to get the best out of him and make, like, help him reach that potential, I think this should be like a fine transfer for him.
Right. Right. So yeah, one last question on Dorgu for both of you. Why the hell did Amorim play him as right wing back?
I mean,
Anyone?
I mean, it's going to be difficult not to be negative about this. uh, okay, I think I'm going to give it a go. Uh, I think Amram's shown a tendency to prefer having a left-footed right wing back. If you
Yeah.
look at his history of playing Catamo and Giovanni Kenda on in his Sporting Lisbon teams, they always tend to be left-footed players occupying that right wing back slot. Uh, there are certain situations where this could be beneficial. One of the reasons being that uh, if the number 10s make underlapping runs beyond the line of defense, uh, the inverted wing back might be able to find them with better passes. They might be able to hit those behind the line of defense. Um, the problem is, as a team, we don't make off the ball runs like that, so it's unlikely that we'll see it benefit. We kind of saw this tendency from Amarim with putting Ahmad at right wing back as well, right? That's another left-footed player playing there. Ahmad kind of treats that position like a right midfield role of sorts, and how he shines there is he drags his he drags his fullback sort of onto the touchline and then gets beyond them using a combination of pace and skill. He pulls them out of position, creates space for others to run into. So I think that's kind of the combinations that Amarim wants, and it's quite possible we could see Dorgu occupying that role from time to time. I think it
Yeah.
could definitely happen again. I don't think it's a one-off, and given that Ahmad's injured till the end of the season, I definitely
Yeah.
think we could see that happening in some games.
So you think we're going to see more of Dorgo at right wing back then, with especially with Ahmad's injury, and also a lot of centre back injuries that we have.
I do think that because Anthony's on loan now, and Ahmad's injured, so that automatically makes Dorgu the only left-footed option for the right wing back slot. Given how often Abrams liked to go with that option, yeah, I think that wasn't a one-off, and we could see it again. Uh, I don't know if we have the correct profile of the number 10 on the right hand side to make the runs that can benefit from Dorgu's passing, or if even Dorgu has that kind of passing in his bag. So yeah, that's something we're gonna have to wait to see how it plays out in the Premier League.
Right. Right. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I think we'll also see how Dorgo plays tonight. Right, and he's most likely going to be selected against the Spurs side today. So yeah, we'll see how Dorgo plays. All right. So
Yeah, the
yeah,
meet.
I guess that's yeah. Sorry, you're saying something.
Yeah, I was just saying the meeting of the injury twins. You know, both
Yeah,
clubs.
today's the game between Spurs and United is going to be, the stoppable force versus the movable object. Uh, however, one thing has to be said. Despite Spurs' position in the table, our goal differences are worlds apart. Um, Spurs is, if I remember correctly, at plus 11, and we are at -6. And yeah, I mean, I know Spurs is 2 points behind us, but yeah, it just the difference in the goal difference is, man, just amazing. And yeah, it's not like Spurs have considered less goals than us or something. They've actually considered three more goals than us. So if you drill down into the goal difference, United has considered 34 goals and Spurs has considered 37. But if you look at goals scored, United has scored 28 and Spurs has scored 48 goals. That is like, I think that is the third best um, total in the league for goals scored, behind Liverpool and Arsenal. So yeah, they're
Man,
going to
that
be as considering our defense. Uh,
that's shocking. You'll be telling me next that we've loaned them our high scoring attacker.
yep. So yeah, we'll see how that game is, and hopefully Dogu has a good game in
Yeah,
with
If we loan them any of our players, maybe their attacking output will also go down. Just to point that out. So might not like it could be a good move, I would say.
yeah, like how we loaned Sancho to Chelsea.
Yes,
master stroke, absolute master stroke.
freedom.
I've
Guys,
seen
Freedom.
some I've seen some American Chelsea fans talking about how they would love to tank this season just so that they can get Sancho off their hands. Because if they finish below 13th or something, I think they can not. They're not obligated to buy him anymore.
Oh, really?
yeah,
So they're
yeah,
ready to tank their
that's
entire
the
season just to get rid of Sancho.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. This feels good. Like like take this in. Like breathe it in, because it's not often that we see a player leave Manchester United and get worse. This is
Yeah, yeah.
beautiful.
Wow, amazing. Just amazing.
Yeah.
All right, then moving on to our next transfer. So from a 20-year-old Patrick Dorgu, we now move on to 18-year-old Aiden Heaven, a young English footballer who plays as centre back for us. And we got him from Arsenal, of all places.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Ron, let me come to you first. What are your expectations from Aiden Heaven? He's most likely, I'm guessing, starting the game against Spurs, right? We literally have nobody to play. But what are your expectations from the young teenager from London?
well, he's for starters, he's like a left footer, right? He's a left footed defender, and uh, from what I've heard, like he has played midfield as well. Like the central defensive midfield he has played earlier.
Hmm.
I think like from what I have seen of him, I'm not sure about the signing at all because he doesn't look that comfortable to me. He, of course, he's young right now and he has a lot to grow. But I don't see much potential of him. Like I haven't seen much of him to be very like honest. And whatever I've seen of him, he looks okayish as a left center back, and he has some passing in him. Like he can distribute the ball well, and he's obviously like a tall guy, and also I was he probably played that game against preseason friendly against us. He It was the USA tour, right? In
Yep.
oh, yeah, he did play against us. So yeah, he had like a decentish game, didn't really stand out that much. So
Yeah, he
I'm
got
not
he got
sure
skinned
what.
by Rasmus Højlund. He got skinned by
Yeah,
Rasmus Højlund.
yeah, yeah, that too. Yeah, I think so. Holland scored, right? He like, uh,
Yep.
yeah, he scored off of him. So I don't see him as a standout player. Not sure what United have seen in him. Maybe there's something there that I have missed, but yeah, he'll probably slot in at somewhere at left center back, and the expectations of him will be uh, like to come in and uh, to have like to try and adapt to like the senior level, right? He hasn't made much senior appearances for Arsenal as well, right? So
Yeah, no.
the start should be a bit tricky. I think he'll probably make some mistakes, but yeah, not expecting too much out of him from the get go. I think he'll need some time to adapt to the senior team, and hopefully he gets a good start, like to build his confidence up. So yeah, let's see.
Yeah, he only made one appearance for Arsenal in an EFL Cup game,
Yeah,
for the senior team.
yeah,
So yeah, in October, and I think even for their under 21 side, he didn't. Yeah, he just had I think 3 appearances for the under 21 side in the last 2 seasons. Um, yeah, never seen him be rated that highly, right? Like you said, Rowan.
yeah.
So yeah, definitely a bit of a confusing transfer. Wait, did does anyone remember or oh yeah, the fee was undisclosed, but were there any rumors as to how much he cost?
I don't think the compensation for him could have been much, right? Because he probably
Yeah.
hasn't signed a senior contract properly.
Right, right. Yeah,
But
it's
I'm not
saying
sure of this.
yeah, they're saying it's understood to be around £1 million. So yeah, very very cheap buy. But
Yeah.
yeah, Somdeep, let me ask you this since you're generally more connected to youth sides and players. Does this transfer make sense for you at all? Apart from the one time he got skinned by Rasmus Højlund.
So I mean, I'm gonna go like easy on him on that one because I think he's a young player, right?
Yeah, it was preseason,
And
so that's why yeah.
yeah, I have a different set of rules for y- younger players who are still up and coming. I feel. Uh, from the little I've seen of him in Arsenal academy games, he's talented. Uh, I think he's like just in that he's just one rung below their absolute top level talents. Like the top rung has Ethan Nwaneri, it has Max Dorman, it has of course Miles Lewis Kelly. Then around that level would be Chido Obi Martin, who we also brought in, right? And then there's Aiden Heaven and a few others because they have some really good talent coming through. Uh, so the interesting thing with Heaven is that he's played a lot of football at Arsenal in the youth as a defensive midfielder. He recently was transitioned to centre back, and I think partly due to his height, partly due to the fact that he's left-footed, and left-footed centre backs are a rarity. So I
Yeah.
think I feel like there's been some consternation, there. Like maybe the players a little, uh, they maybe prefer playing like defensive midfield, so they're not entirely happy about being centre back. Having said that, I think he's talented and it's a very low risk deal. So on paper, I get it. Leach is injured now, so that makes this deal look even better in retrospect. Hindsight's 2020. Uh, for me, the confusing part is we have Goodwill Kukongi, who is and probably the most talented centre back of his age group at Manchester United. He's left-footed. He is physically imposing. I think he's well over 6 foot 1 or 2. So I think he's had that physical growth that can help him in the Premier League as well. So I'm a little unsure where this leaves him in the squad, but maybe it's just a case of Ineos thinking, okay, this guy is like 2 years older, so
Right.
we can maybe bring him into the squad sooner. So Yeah, I mean, with Licha injured, this it kind of changes how I feel about this deal. I think it's good we brought him in. However, I don't think he's gonna get much play time. Like, Amarim hasn't really shown a tendency to try out the youngsters even when there are injury issues, has he? So I think he's very much going to be someone for we'll maybe see in next preseason.
Yeah, I mean, but to be fair, he has brought in Toby Collier, and he's getting kind of regular games, right? Off
I
the
mean,
bench, but
Collier's that's true, and Collier's starting to, but
yeah,
I feel like Collier already attained that squad position under
right. Mhm.
Eric Ten Hag. Like, this is just sort of in line with his promotion earlier in the season. It's not really something new that we haven't
Yeah,
seen before.
yeah. I guess to be fair, Collier is also 21.
Yes, of course. Yeah, he's more mature in those terms, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. I'm guessing we'll see Godwill Kokonki maybe preseason and later. He's only 17 now, so yeah. I guess we'll see how it plays before we blood him in into the first team, right? Yeah, I think the other incoming, we had one more incoming, right? Apart from Patrick Dorgo and Aiden Heaven, Diego Leon, who I believe will join the club over the summer because he's
Yeah.
not yet 18. He's also a left wing back. So are we just piling up on left wing backs now?
This kind of gives. Well, I mean, I guess he could just be a backup player because we don't really have any other left wing backs if we leave out Dorgu. So he could just be backup, or maybe there's weight to the theory that Dorgu is going to play right wing back.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean,
I
this
think,
guy's also very young.
yeah, we are actually like rumored. There have been quite a couple of rumors that we are also looking at Giovanni Cuenda from Sporting. I think Amorim's player from his Sporting time, and he's 17 also, and he does play right wing right wing back. So so probably United just look to stack up on wing backs cheap. Like, of course, there's a pattern here where they are just looking at cheap youngsters. Like, we are buying for the future. This is what the pattern is right now. Not sure. Like, I think we'll have to wait till the summer to really get an idea of where, like, what signings would be made for the current team for the now. Uh, as far as Quenda, like, what I've seen of him is, I think, pretty talented, high potential, and would be a good signing, like for a good price. I think that would be a very good signing. But remains to be seen. As far as
Yeah.
Leon is concerned, like, I don't understand. They get him and then they ship him off again to another club, and just like he'll just rejoin back in summer. So I don't get a deal like this for him, because we don't have like anyone other than Dorgu. That, like, Shaw is always injured, and we just loaned out Malacia. So really do not get what United was trying to do here. And like, I've not watched too much of Leon, but he doesn't look like he would be integrated in the first team right now. Anyway, so don't really know what United were trying to do here. Uh, like, the Dorgu move made sense, but again, Leon, is he like another player who doesn't, like, who hasn't stand out, but maybe might be they might have seen something in him, so probably made the move.
Yeah, I guess time will tell. And
Yeah,
seems to be that this is going to be your club going forward, right? Just buy up kids because you have no money to buy senior players.
yeah,
Um, Even for the summer, that's what we've been hearing, that United is going to look at young players, right? Young as in 18, 19 year olds. Like,
right.
to all the fans of the club who said play them kids, I guess they're going to get their wish fulfilled. Well, literally just going to play kids and hope for the best, I guess.
Yeah, it's fascinating to me how the club, in the course of one season, has transformed from a retirement home to a daycare. Mhm. Quite the remarkable transition from us.
Uh,
True.
True. But Somdeep, since you used to follow Nice a bit, did something similar happen with them as well? Did they just start buying up kids from all over the continent?
So the fascinating thing here is, and with Nice is, even before, especially before the arrival of Ineos, Nice were extremely effective at scoping out French talent and bringing them to the club. A great example is the biggest sale in Ineos's tenure at Nice is that of Kefren Thuram, right? The young French midfielder who was recently sold to Juventus. He arrived at the club 6 months before they did. So when when Sir Jim Ratcliffe first arrived at Nice, he spoke much of bringing in young talent, but that was something Nice was already doing really well. You know, they brought in, for instance, Kefren Thuram. They had top four finishes. It was kind of how their pipeline worked. With his arrival, they tried to accelerate that process, and they did bring in a few players like that. Off the top of my head, I can think of Muhammad Ali Cho, who's coming from Real Sociedad a while ago. I can think of Gesand, who's been scoring goals. So they have tried that, but it's been inconsistent. It hasn't brought steady success. And the interesting thing is that in the second and third, I think at the end of the second year in Nice, they transitioned to buying Casper Schmeichel on a free transfer, bringing in Aaron Ramsey and Ross Barkley. So they've definitely made those claims, but they haven't really shown consistent ability to succeed with it so far. I do want to point out one thing though: the three signings that they've made at United in the winter window, I'm seeing a theme of them trying to improve the ground coverage and physicality in the squad. Like if you look at Dorgu, he definitely brings in a lot of that. If you look at Diego Leon, he brings in pace and physicality, something we lack at left wing back previously. So and with Aiden Heaven, I think they bring in uh, a, a a centre back who is imposing in the air, if not very effective yet because of his age, but he definitely has all the hallmarks of being good at it. So it seems to me like they're trying to address the lack of physical power in our squad. But again, I'm not sure if these signings will fix everything because they're so young that this can swing in many ways.
Yeah, I guess it's a little early to say, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Ron, any final thoughts before we move on?
Yeah, I agree with Somdeep. Definitely, there's some uh, shift towards like bringing more physicality to the squad. And I think Amorim has mentioned in his interview as well, where like he says that we need like more intense players for the formation that he has. So might be that he might be looking at certain attributes of play. United might be looking at certain attributes of youngsters which they think can provide that kind of intensity, that kind of physicality that is needed to play in the Premier League. So I think maybe we are moving towards that direction and probably scouting in that ways. Uh, Only time will tell like how effective these signings just end up. Quite quite young right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess the jury's out on that one, and hopefully we get some senior players in the summer transfer window because we really need some experience at the club. And I don't mean a retirement home 35-year-old player, but hopefully somebody who's in the prime or, you know, close to prime, little past his prime, something like that, right? Um, this club needs also to win games right now, like yesterday. So yeah, we'll see how Ineos handles this in summer. I guess a lot of
Y-
players are
y-
expected to go leave, right? Yeah, Sandeep.
Yeah, Pratyush, it's interesting you say the win games thing because you'll remember in the last episode we spoke about how you asked, like, do you think we can get 10 points in the next 11 games or 11 points in the next 10 games to avoid relegation, right? And I was like, no, I don't think we'll get there. You know how many points we have in our last 10 games in the league?
No, how
We
many?
have 11 points.
Ah, okay. And we have 14 games left, so we are cool, right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying we're cutting it close.
Let's see. So game week 15 to 24, we won 3 and we drew 1. So yeah, 10 points, not even 11.
Oh, it's 10 points. Okay. Well, I was being optimistic.
Yep. Optimism is what keeps us alive in this business. All right, let's go to our other big topic for today, picking the best lineup. So this is what we plan to do. All the as fans and as supporters and outsiders, we debate a lot. Hey, should played this guy over him or that guy over him. So we decided to put that to to the test today, and we are going to pick the best United. Sorry, the best lineup. The best United. That's an oxymoron. We're going to pick the best lineup that can play for us. We're going to stick to Amarin's formation, right? So we're not going to like if you leave it to us, we'll probably pick a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1, but we're not going to do that. We're going to stick to Amarin's formation because he's very, very dogmatic about it to a fault. So we're going to stick to a 3-4-2-1, and we're going to pick what we think is the best lineup, ignoring injuries from this side. And then we will add in the injuries. We have, I think, 10 first team players injured, and then we'll create a realistic lineup for the remainder of the season to see who can actually play with half the side being out of contention. But let's start. Let me put my screen up for you guys. All right, can you see it? All right, so sending you the stream. All right, so this is what we have: 3-4-2-1, and I guess for goalkeeper Onana, right? Or would you rather pick Binder or Tom Heaton over him?
Are there other options?
Well, are there other goalkeepers at a club? I mean, we have a young Polish guy called Hubert Grashik, but we had to stick to players
Yeah.
in the club.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it kind of has to be Onana, right? So,
Yeah.
okay, how does this work? Do we each get to pick an 11, or is it like a combined 11 that we pick?
Yeah, it's we can do a combined and just kind of we discuss and come to a consensus on who to pick.
Okay. I mean, my vote's for Onana just because of lack of options here.
Yeah. Do you agree, Ron?
Yeah. Yeah. Onana goes in goal. Although I've not been his biggest supporter, but
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
with you on that.
for now, yeah, for now he goes there.
Yeah, I think all of us agree on that. That. All right. Then the three center backs, right? Left, center, and right. Who do you guys want to pick? Left center back. Is it Lisandro or somebody else?
So, this is the one without considering injuries, but
Yeah, without
not
considering.
including
Let's
players.
let's assume. Yeah, let's assume whoever is playing for us is fit.
Okay, but we don't include players who are out on loan, obviously.
No, no,
I'm
yeah, yeah,
just
no lone players. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, I think Lisandro's probably the best fit for that role. So yeah. I would say Lisandro.
Yeah. Ron, do you agree?
Yeah, yeah. I think Lisandro should he's like the best option right now
Hmm.
for us over there. Mm, totally has that passing ability that we require. Definitely a playmaker. We need that playmaker kind of things for the uh, sided defenders, the right side and the left side. I think Martinez slots in pretty well over there, and yeah,
Yeah.
for now, yeah, I would keep them. Yeah,
Cool. And who goes at right center back?
I mean, my money's on Nusar Mazraoui. I like him
Really?
in that role. Yeah, I think
Mazraoui?
he's. Yeah, I think he's. I think where we benefit from him at right center back is he helps us bring the ball out of defense.
Hmm.
Uh, he has a pretty decent degree of press resistance in that defensive third, and he also is a decent enough defender in those wide channels. Of course, it helps that he's nominally a fullback, so I feel he does a decent job. He's not the best at wide channel defending, so my money's on Mazraoui.
What about Delict?
Um, yes, honestly, it's not a bad shot. Personally feel that Matthias Delict has been our best central center back from a poor list of options this season.
Right.
Uh, but he's had some very decent performances at right center back, so I'm not opposed to him being there as well. It's just that I thought he would be my pick for
Right, right.
the center.
Cool, cool. Um, Ron, Delict or Mazraoui?
uh, for right center back, I would put Mazraoui over Dillit. Uh,
Yeah.
I need I would ideally need some pace in recovery from both my sided defenders.
Yeah.
Uh, and I think Nusa Mazraoui provides that. We've seen that on a couple of occasions as well, and plus he also has that kind of a playmaking ability. For now, like he's obviously not the ideal choice.
Yeah,
I also don't think that's like his best position, but like for now, I think Mazraoui slots in there perfectly.
Yeah.
He's kind of the best option we have right now for us.
Yeah, I
yeah.
agree. Just for the fact that he's so bad on the as a wing back.
Yeah,
Oh
but
yeah, 100%.
yeah,
He does not have
100%.
the
Yeah,
stamina to cover that role at all. And I think Glenny Yoros played a lot of minutes in that right center back position as well. Uh, but I don't think he's the best choice for it. I think he struggled a little bit with dealing with wingers when he's isolated in that right channel. He's also struggled a little with balls over the top and just aerial deliveries to his side.
Right.
Something Masrai also has trouble with. But so yeah, I think just for these reasons, Masrai has a little bit of the edge, and the fact
Right.
that he's a little more comfortable on the ball than
Yeah.
Euro is.
And I think also Mazra is also a little bit more mature of a player than Yoro is still
yeah.
pretty young, right? He's what, 18, 19 right now?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Euro, I
absolutely.
think he's just in the process of adapting to English football. Uh,
Right. Mm.
he's not there yet. He's not making like the body shape isn't proper right now to get into the correct positions to be able to recover and or even pass for that matter. I think yeah, Mazraoui definitely gets the nod before him just
Right.
for that experience. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds good. So who goes in the center? Delict then?
That would personally be my pick. I know that there'd be people who might prefer Harry Maguire, and I understand that, but I'd still go with Matthias Delict because I think he still enables the high line a little better than Maguire. I think his box defending, when called upon, has been relatively the best of a poor bunch, and he's also done a pretty decent job of sweeping up issues that occur on either channel when those players are out of position. So yeah, I would say Matthias Delict. He's aerially decent as well, so he kind of ticks all the boxes without being exceptional at anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I would also agree with Delict. I know there is a portion of our fan base who really likes Maguire. I think Maguire is probably a very good backup for us, but yeah, I would probably put Delict as well. Rowan?
Um, Now, I do not, just for the record, I do not like Maguire that much, but I would lean a little bit towards Maguire on
Okay.
this occasion. Um, Both aren't ideal choices at all. Both aren't that comfortable. I like from what we have seen. The thing and also like I've seen both of them making pretty much similar errors. Like they always have some error in them, which has cost the team goals. Like even if they are playing on the wing, on the sided back or in the central center back, I would lean more towards Maguire. I think he has a little bit more to give, like from a playmaking standpoint, from the central area, which we need from that central
Yeah.
center back. He can also be a decent sweeper, or like on when he is playing well, he does play well. Not much to separate between David, but I would lean towards Maguire more for the start here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have two for Delict and one for Maguire. So I'll probably just put Delict, but
Yeah.
I think if you look at our side as a whole, it's like choosing between, I don't know,
Yeah.
white crap or orange crap, I guess. So,
How I wish our transfer committee had come to the same conclusion with Maguire.
yep. So those are the three centre back positions. Now let's move on to left wing back. So who do you guys think should be wing back? Diogo Dallo, Patrick Dorgu, Luke Shaw. Since we're assuming no injuries in this exercise,
I think I would pick Dorgu.
okay.
Uh,
Um,
I think he's played in that position before. He understands that position well. Uh, and definitely, like I would have on the opposite side, I would have Ahmad there. So
Right.
I would like Dorgu to start there. He definitely gives us that dribbling ability that we require over there to get the ball out of uh, micro spaces and getting the ball forward, carrying the ball forward, as well as you know
Hmm.
attacking the left flank, making those runs behind the defense. I think Dorgu fits perfectly there. Uh, Also, Ahmad for the right wing back. I think that's kind of like his best position for me in this setup as far as this is concerned. So yeah, I would have this pairing on both sides.
Yeah.
What about you,
Okay.
Sombi?
Yes, on the who's your pick?
I think Ahmad on the right wing back for me is definitely like the first starter I'd pick on my team, and that's the only position I'd play him at. So yeah, Ahmad that
Yeah,
right
I
wing back.
think Ahmad on right wing back we have. Yeah, I think that's
Yeah, we have
unanimous. Pretty
consensus.
much.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think personally because of how early he is to the league and just to give him the time to settle in, I would have gone with Dalo at left wing back. But I get it. I get Dorgu at left wing back. I'm not opposed to that.
Okay. Um.
Pratyush?
Yeah, I'm going to be contrarian here. I'm going to say Luke Shaw. Um. I think since
Well,
since we're assuming no injuries in this exercise, I think Luke Shaw is still, I think by far our best left left sided, wing back, full back, whatever you want to call it. The stats don't lie. If I may quickly share a different tab. This is Luke Shaw for you, ladies and gentlemen. This is Luke Shaw. Pink is Luke Shaw, and yeah, he's right up there, right? So yeah, personally, I would go with Luke Shaw, but since there is two people who prefer Dorgo, I will put in Dorgo here.
well,
But
well.
yeah,
I mean, I personally, my first choice would be Dalo.
Oh,
I
the
just
first one
thought
with
you would
Dalo.
pick
Okay.
Dorgo. Yeah, yeah. So we
No,
have a
that's
three-way tie.
interesting. We have a three-way tie here.
Yeah.
Actually, I could make a case for Luke Shaw to be played at left center back. I think he's a really good fit there, given his ability on the ball, and to find those impressive passes which we need from the deep. I
Yeah,
think like if we don't have Lisandro, or maybe even with Lisandro, right? Like I think Shaw makes a pretty good LCV, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a
right.
great
But
shout
yeah,
actually.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a really good shout. I would also maybe take Shaw at LCB.
yeah,
Yeah,
He
and I think
may
Shaw
be our best.
has shown previously as well that he played as a left centre back in a back four. He has played left centre back in back three. So I think yeah, that's shown.
yeah,
But yeah, since we have a three-way tie for this,
yeah.
can I convince you to pick Luke Shaw here? Then
Okay.
can I
Yeah,
convince you to
I
pick the
mean,
Nando's man?
yeah. Since we're doing like entirely fictional, fully fit lineups, this is the
Yeah,
perfect scenario to include Luke Shaw. So yeah, sure. As a
Yeah,
footballer, I mean, I think he's good.
yeah.
I'm
yeah.
okay
All
with it.
right.
I would be
My
fine.
Shaw
I would be
agenda
fine with that too.
succeeds.
I could live with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I could live with that.
My Shaw agenda succeeds. Too bad he can't be fit. You
Yeah,
know, you
and you know
know.
what's interesting?
Yeah.
Like
No,
this
go
is
ahead.
gonna
Go ahead.
sound crazy, but he's other than until Dorgo's arrival, he's actually the only player in the Manchester United squad who has experience playing as a wing back
Right. Yeah.
under Louis van Gaal at Manchester United.
Yeah. Yeah. And I hate to say this, but I was really looking forward to Shaw's return because I've always seen whenever United gets or trains a new player in the left back position, Shaw goes like full on Super Saiyan Shoboto collars and just locks down that position, man, till the next injury. But this time he got injured before he could even come back.
Man, like that new manager bounce hits him like a trampoline,
Yeah.
like every time. But yeah, we don't have him around this time.
Yep.
That's a good
Right.
shout.
So
That's a good shout.
yeah, I was really looking forward to seeing Prime Shoboto Carlos again, but he got injured before he could even come back, man. That's very sad. So yeah, those are wing backs settled. What about center midfield? The midfield pairing. Who do you guys want to put in there?
I
Let's
want
go to
Mano
the
in
left
there.
side. Yeah,
Yeah,
Mino
I want
obviously.
Mano.
Mine on the
Yeah,
left or mine
well,
on
I
the
want
right.
Mano on the. I want Mano on the right. Personally,
Okay.
that's my choice. Yeah, I
Rohan,
don't
what
know
about
about
you?
you
I
guys.
don't have a preference, but Rohan, do you agree with right?
Yeah, I agree with Somdeep. I think Manu would be a good, like the best pick for the left center midfield, uh, left defensive midfield. I think he would be a good. Uh, he's he we need his playmaking ability from the deep. I think he's very good on the ball, and
Yeah.
we need that. He might not have the best passing range, but in tight situations where we have to, where the opposition team is pressing us a lot, I think Manu's ability to keep the ball and just
Mm.
ease us out of pressure. I think that's a very valuable thing to have in the team, and I think Manu gives that to us. So yeah, I would probably pick Manu over there. And the second is a bit tricky, but actually, I'm not sure how many of you will agree with me, but I think I would pick Collier over Ugarte
Oh
in the defense.
yes,
Wow.
yes.
Wow.
Uh, I
Yeah,
was
Okay.
gonna
yeah,
say the same
I would
thing.
actually,
Yeah.
I, w- yeah, I would actually be inclined to pick Collier over Ugarte, just because I think
Yes.
Ugarte is 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 good at retrieving the ball and giving us like giving the ball to the ball progressors, but only in very limited situations. Like if you look at his ability, like his qualities when uh, we are facing a team that presses hard on us, I think Ugarte works well there, but I think he's very limited to that specific situation only. I don't think he gives us more when teams like Crystal Palace are sitting back, and we really need to move the ball, like make those correct decisions. I don't think he gives us that. I think Collier is much more calmer on the ball, and he's much more calculated with his passes, uh, and he gives us kind of more on the ball and off the ball than Ugarte gives. I think so. That's why I just put him.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a great shot, and that was going to be my pick as well. I did not expect that I would have backing on this, so this is wonderful. The end is nigh. Rohan and I agree on a team selection. Uh, but yeah, no, I think with Collier, to make the case for him, I think primarily what Ugarte offers that people like is he wins ground duels. He wins some degree of ground coverage, but I feel both come with issues. His winning of ground duels is aggressive. He often deserts his position in midfield and leaves space behind him. This is a theme from his Sporting days. One and two, his ground coverage is decent, but it's not that remarkable. It's a little overstated because of his tiny little legs, which scamper across the pitch. But maybe they give the appearance of activity, but do not maybe have the large ground coverage we need. Collier is taller. Collier is arguably a little more physically imposing. We've seen Collier calm things down in games like Liverpool for us. He's come in off the bench and actually adapted pretty well. And I think he gives us that little bit of aerial ability as well next to Mainu. They're a little more balanced than the shorter Ugarte Mainu combination. I mean, they're 6 feet, but relatively by EPL standards. So these two would be my pick too for sure. Over to you, Pratyush.
Yeah, I mean, since you both agree on Collier, I can't do much here, but I I wanted to go for Ugarte, to be honest. Uh, yeah, I think
I mean, that's
just
fair.
that. Yeah, I think Ugarte has been. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine keeping Collier too. I mean, I've been very impressed with Collier and whatever opportunities he has got this season. But yeah, I think Ugarte has kind of been. I know as a whole our team has been defensively trash, but I think Ugarte has been pretty good in just with his either his passing or tackling, right? Just this stat that came yesterday. Uh, he's the only midfielder across Europe's top five leagues to have 85% plus pass accuracy while making
Hmm.
4+ tackles, right? So
Yeah.
I feel Ugarte is a bit underrated by some of our fan base. But yeah, I mean, if you're going to, remove Ugarte for Collier, then yeah, that's fine with me. I think Collier has shown a lot of promise. Um, I think, yeah, I'm fine with Collier. I think I don't know, have you guys seen, but he seemed also very composed in the ball when he's passing or trying to resist opposing defenders or attackers trying to bully him off the ball, right?
Just wanna uh, like highlight of the point that I mentioned. Ugarte is definitely like what I have seen is like Ugarte is quite limited in certain games. As like for example, if you look at the Liverpool game, I
Mm.
think he performed really well in that game, and the game suited him more because of Liverpool's aggressive midfielders. I think
Right.
the way they come onto the ball, and then without the ball his work rate is really really good. But I just think, but that is the specific case that Ugarte limits us to. And I think
Right.
uh, over a longer period of time, not every team will be like Liverpool, right? Like we will have
Yeah.
teams that will be more calculative in staying back and making us work with the ball, right? In order for us to make a mistake. So I think Collier just provides that little bit extra composure with this. Of course, he will make mistakes for sure. He's young, he's just got in, but yeah, I
Yeah.
think Collier might be. I would be leaning more towards Collier. So yeah, that's what the reasoning was.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, I think Collier has also been very impressive in whatever minutes he has got over the last few months. So yeah, I'm like I said, yeah, I mean I wanted Ugarte, but if you're putting
Yeah.
if Collier is the man who's being put in instead of Ugarte, I'm fine, right? Like if we had gone like Christian Eriksen, I would have 40, but yeah, I'm not fighting for Collier.
We are gonna go Casemiro though, I think, for the next one. Just
Oh
Yeah.
just
yeah,
a
yeah.
prediction.
It's good. It's
Yeah,
it's
I mean
gonna be
Collier is
fun. Yeah.
injured, so yeah. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
all right, moving on to our two tens. I guess right side is Bruno, unanimous.
Yeah. Yeah. Bruno has to be there for me.
Yeah,
For everybody.
yeah. What about left side? Who do you want to put on
So
the
okay,
left? Garnacho.
I this is kind of how I want to play it. I feel like who we pick for the left 10 also might decide who we pick for the striker,
Okay.
right?
Yeah,
So I suggest
but no Rashford though.
we say our picks for both. I suggest we say our picks for both.
Okay. Yeah, why don't you go
So
first?
like, yeah, I'm not going first.
All right, Ron.
Pratt,
Actually,
I want to hear you go first. Yeah, you haven't had a shot at
yeah,
going first yet.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, go ahead.
I think yeah, I don't see us having a lot of choice here. I think I would take Garnacho as a left ten. Really, who do we even have apart from him? Like, we don't have Rashford anymore. Um, yeah, do we even have anybody else to play on the left? I think just Garnacho.
Actually, my pick would be Ericsson for that
Ericsson.
position.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah, yeah, that would be my pick. Like if I had to pick, I would pick him over Garnacho.
Wait,
For
so
start
Ron,
of
who
the
would your
game,
striker be?
for
Who would your
start of the
striker
game.
be?
So
Hey,
actually,
I'm going to pick Cheeto, man. I don't give a shit. Both our strikers are
yeah,
ass.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
like it. I like it.
I
Yes.
would also pick Cheeto over Holland and Zugby. Actually, I would pick Cheeto over Holland and Zugby and play Ericsson behind them. Ericsson and Bruno in the tens. I would play. And I think for I think the tens that we end up playing have to play a lot in the pockets of space
Yeah.
in the midfield area, and I think Bruno and Ericsson are really good at it, and they can certainly hold the ball and let Ahmad and Dorgu make the runs, and also make let Chiro make the runs, and uh, then find them like with their incisive passing ability. I think both of them will kind of like give us that extra creativity that we require in a lot of games, right? In the PL, like for example, we needed that against Crystal Palace as well. We needed that against Southampton. That extra edge that we require. I think I would pick Ericsson and Chido. Ericsson in the 10 and Chido as a striker right now.
You
Uh,
know,
and yeah, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
like I love that Ericsson pick, and it probably is what I'd go with. But I just want to like throw this in there. We have Mount because this is no injuries.
Oh
We have
yes, how did I
Mason Mount.
forget Mount? Oh
Yeah,
my
Yeah,
god, man!
we
I'm
have
I'm
Mount.
a big Mount
we
stan. I
don't.
would totally go for Mount.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
You're,
but
you're
but
Mount.
but even with Mount, I would still pick Ericsson. I think
Yeah,
I
I'm with
think
you
I
on that.
think
Like
I think
No,
Ericsson
but
is the
at this point,
yeah
does
yeah.
Eriksen have the legs or the lungs to play 90 minutes?
he has the
No,
brain,
but
and I
but I
want
would
that.
I would start with him. I would start with him, and I would definitely look to bring Garnacho on later on, seeing how the game progresses.
Like we're just
I
saying
would
no
definitely
injuries,
look
but
to
it
do
is
that.
still
Yeah.
this season's players. It's not prime Eriksen from a decade ago.
No, I would still bank on Ericsson. I think
Okay,
he has that extra ability. He has that edge that we need right now because we are lacking goals and we are lacking
right.
that creativity. We can not like we are putting too much pressure solely on Bruno to create, and
Hmm.
given how it's happening further, we are not yet settled into this lineup.
Yeah,
Bruno
yeah,
can create still he can do a lot more, but we still need that like extra bit, and I think Ericsson can provide us with that,
right.
which is why I would pick him like over Mount as well.
Yeah, I mean that's a fair shot actually, and I feel Mount is better on the right than the left. Sondeep, like he's more a right-sided
Uh,
player, right? He also played right
he-
winger.
I mean, yes, but if you look back to the UCL final, which Chelsea won against Man City, right? Mount was playing that this exact setup, and he was
Hmm.
playing the left end role in that game, and he made the game-winning assist to Kai Havertz, who luckily for him scored past the keeper. So I feel like Mount is effective at the left end and all, but I also feel that in 2025, even a Mason Mount that isn't injured right now has still lost a lot of the physical level he used to have at Chelsea. So he does run a lot, but it's we're not still getting the player he used to be there. He's not really that player anymore. Uh, I feel like typically my pick would be Ericsson and Cheeto. Like that would be like very obviously what I go with. So I'm going to be a little contrarian here. I'm going to go with Ericsson for the left hand. I think he's a natural fit there. Uh,
Okay.
and I'm going to play Garnacho up top,
Wow.
wide
Okay.
forward. Yeah,
I see.
just because I think he's a player who, while often having random decision making, he has this goal gravity. He has this tendency to create shots
Right.
off the dribble from runs. He just has this ability to attack the box, and I think looking at how bad we are as a team in terms of crossing, I don't think it would be a great loss in not having a central target man in this setup. But I'm okay with Cheeto because that would be my other pick. Just because I read the other day as well, Rasmus Hoyland and Joshua Zirkzee have the lowest XG per 90 of
Yeah.
all forwards
Yeah.
in the Premier League. So I mean, we're not really getting much out of them. We
Yeah.
are not eating good.
Omar Marmoush has more goals than Rasmus Højlund this season.
Yeah, I mean, give him time and give him enough space on the ball, and Edison will probably have more goals than him. So yeah, like Cheeto's a good shot. We have nothing to lose by just
Yeah.
putting him up top.
So who are you playing
Or
left end? So
Zirkzee.
you both agree on Ericsson then?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and I forgot to mention, I have another rationale for Ericsson.
Okay.
I often feel we lack the ability to progress the ball from midfield or keep the ball ticking there. I think Ericsson can drop into midfield next to Collier and Manu, and he has that wonderful quality of treating the ball as not a bomb. So he'll give us the ability to like move the ball laterally and then find those passes through the lines to Bruno or Ahmad and actually transition us into attack very well. So and he has the protection of like two other midfielders. So I don't think he will be needed to run as much as he used to
Right.
under ETH.
Fair. That's fair. Yeah, I think our forwards is still where we have some talent left. The fact that we can't agree on like, who to play there. So yeah, I think Ericsson, Garnacho, Mount, they're all good shouts for that position. Um yeah, and I also like your idea of Garnacho up top as well as a wide forward, right? I guess Ericsson and not maybe Bruno and Garnacho, they can kind of rotate, and then Garnacho comes to the left, maybe Bruno goes more central, Ericsson goes to the right, and kind of also helps Ahmad on that side as well, right? To
Yeah, and
make some of
Ahmad kind
those
of
runs.
pushes really high on that wing, like he
Right,
does
right.
often.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think that's fair. Yeah,
One,
actually, if
I'd like to make
yeah,
one more shout for
mm.
Garnacho as well at left wing back.
Left wing
Uh,
back, damn.
yeah, yeah.
I love it. I love it. Yeah.
And like just because we have Ericsson in that, like I was thinking like if we have Ericsson in that, it gives us an option to play Garnacho at left wing back.
Mm.
And certainly because Ericsson is so good at like manipulating spaces, he can drop deep and let Garnacho make those runs from the wing. And then
Right,
he has that crossing ability which we have all seen. Like Garnacho is very good with like taking on the man and then finding space to get the crosses in. I think that would also be like one that would be like a substitution. Maybe like
right, right.
at 50 minutes or something. Like if things aren't working out with Dorgo, I think Garnacho can come in and
Mm.
do a good job there.
Yeah, that's a neat shout, and I
Yeah.
vote that when Garnacho is left wing back, Zirkzee should be the striker. He should be the 9.5.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
because I can see some nice like interplay between Zirkzee dropping deep and Garnacho like making
Yeah.
runs on the left.
Right.
I could see that work. Maybe anything to
Yeah.
keep Hoyland out.
Fair enough.
I
Yeah.
love the Cheeto shout though. I really
Yeah.
do like that. I think we've got nothing to lose. This is the equivalent of an NBA team tanking their season. We're basically the Charlotte Hornets right now. So why not put Cheeto up there? Get him those rookie minutes and get
Yeah.
him
Yeah.
firing on all cylinders for next year.
So one question with this lineup, if we had to say, and you know, if I had to put one more restriction, that it has to be something that Amorim would reasonably pick, and he has given no intention of picking Cheeto, right? Who would you put? How would your front three change if you couldn't pick Cheeto?
I'd put Garnacho for Cheeto.
Garnacho up top.
Yeah, just given that restriction.
Yeah. So it's interesting that even in this case, just an observation, and I agree with you, but
Yeah.
like even with that restriction, Xerxes and Hoyland cannot get into the side.
I mean, I fundamentally, in terms of how he links up play, I think I'm okay with Zirkzee off late. He's not going to get a lot of goals, but that's okay. But I think if you're going to have Zirkzee in there, you have to have like runners around him. So if
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
playing
Yeah.
Zirkzee, I would switch out Ericsson for Garnacho because
Right,
I,
right.
I, I would want that off ball movement. But then I think the team would become imbalanced in the middle. So that's why
Yeah,
Garnacho up
yeah.
top.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
I would.
I
I would just put Garnacho at left wing back, like as I said, and I would play Zirkzee up top if that was the case. I would
ah,
Yes,
try that.
okay.
Yeah.
good shout. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Very
okay.
attacking team though, and Amorim's not really shown the cudgels to play that attacking. But you never know. Maybe he
Yeah.
develops it.
Yeah. Okay, so given this is our side, and now we're going to include injuries. So as of as of what we know and what has been reported in the media, I mean, some of the injuries are not being confirmed by Amorim, but based on media reports and all of that, we have 10 injuries as of today. So if you look at a goalkeeping, I mean, yeah, I mean, Onana is there, but our both second and third choice goalkeepers are injured, Binder and Heaton. It's why we played Grashik as a substitute goalkeeper against Leicester on the bench. And then coming to our centre backs, we have Lisandro Martinez, Victor Lindelof, and Johnny Evans. All three are injured, right? So if you're thinking, oh, Martinez is injured, maybe you can bring in Johnny Evans or Lindelof. No, you can't. I think Maguire is fit though, right?
I think
Yeah.
yeah, I think he has a slight injury issue, right? I'm not sure. Is
Let
Delict
me.
fit?
Yeah, I didn't see anything about Delict or Maguire, to be honest. Wow, if they're also. Uh, yeah, I think Delict is fit now. Yeah, I don't see any news about Delict being injured. But yeah, who else? So I mean, yeah, centre backs. Those are centre back injuries, and then obviously we have Luke Shaw injured, so that's another one of our ideal lineup gone. Then in our midfield we have Ugarte, Mainu, and Collier. All three are injured. So
Yep.
those are more injuries. Ahmad is injured as well. Our right wing back option. Ahmad is
But
likely out for the rest of the season.
you gotta delete those guys. Let's
Yeah,
get
yeah.
them out of there.
Yep. I'm going to do that shortly. Just going over injuries. And who else? I think yeah, Mason Mount is injured. Who we were trying to debating of putting in the left 10. He's also gone.
Shaw's out.
Shaw's out. So yeah. Now let me start removing these players. So Martinez is gone. Wait, how do you delete a player here? Wow. Okay.
I guess he's gone, like sort of.
Yeah.
You
No,
just pick
and
someone in his place.
I guess what you have to
Yeah,
clear lineup then.
let's do that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, okay. So, alright, so Onana is going to remain here,
that's right.
and then Delict and Mazraya, you still going to put them in center and right, I guess.
For me,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
So now your left center back, yeah, basically I think Bruno will still be here, and let's
yeah,
assume Garnacho is here, Eric, Ericsson. This is our previous lineup
right,
without injuries, right? And now all these five are basically gone now, right? And
right,
obviously we'll probably
right.
move Ericsson or Garnacho around based on what we decide. But yeah, let's start with
Yeah.
center back. Who are you putting on the left? Are you moving any of these
Uh,
two and putting somebody else, or who are you putting on the left?
I mean, my shout out for left center back is Lenny Oro. Uh,
Okay.
he's played LCB a couple of times for United. I actually
Yeah.
think he's looked a little better there than RCB. Um,
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm not
True.
sure why. My theory is that because he's a natural right footer, when wingers isolate him on that side and they try to cut in, they still shift onto his stronger foot. So he finds that angle easier to deal with. And that's something you can often see in centre backs who aren't used to playing uh, on the touchline, right? This is a more comfortable position for them, an attacker turning onto their stronger foot. So I would go for Lenny Oro, and he's not slow. He's probably quicker than Lisandro. Yeah, we lose some of his ball playing, but injuries. So as a second choice,
Yeah.
I'd put him.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm cool
Yeah.
with Lenny Oro. Ro, any other thoughts to swing
No,
us?
same. Like I completely agree with Somi there. I would put Euro.
Okay. That's Euro. Wing backs. I guess Dorgo on the left, Dalo on the right, or any other thoughts?
Yeah, yeah, I would put Dallo on the right side and Dorgo on the left. Uh, I think Dallo is more like I think he would be more comfortable at playing at the right hand side uh, rather than the left. Uh,
Yeah.
he
Yeah,
just
Dalo always looked more comfortable on the right.
yeah he just looks more comfortable there, and I think he has that ability to take us out of the tight spaces from the right uh, more than he has it on the left. So I think Dallo, I might put it there. I'll just put it there.
Are you in agreement, Somdeep? Dalo on the right and
Um,
Dorgo on the left, or do you want to switch
I, I,
and
th-
be like Amorim?
I yeah, I think if I had to be contrarian, I would switch the two. But no, honestly, like just looking at the profiles, Dorgo on the left and Dallo on the right makes a lot of sense. Like
Yeah.
we have enough issues with the team. Like
Yeah,
maybe simplifying some
yeah.
things is good for us.
Right. Um, who's in midfield? Do you want to bring Eriksen back from the left end to say left center midfield?
No, I wouldn't do that personally.
Who are you playing in midfield then?
See, here's the thing. I've seen Bruno play a lot of games in midfield. Uh, Given that we have injuries, I don't
Yeah.
like Bruno being deeper in midfield, but I
Hmm.
can see Amram making that adjustment. But that's not who I would pick. I feel we would still lose out by that. I would bring back Casemiro and one more person from the academy at this point.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I don't know if that's a popular choice. What do you guys think?
I think like given that we require that ball progression from deep defensive midfield, I would move Ericsson there for just because we have injuries and obviously like because we have no other option and I would still feel that we should start Casemiro. I would also give Aiden Heaven a couple of minutes there, like at least give him a chance at LDM,
Hmm.
and maybe move Ericsson ahead. But to start off with, I think Ericsson and Casemiro will just have to move towards them to just like make sure that we have something there, like we have some experience there, because we like obviously they are pretty exposed when they play together, and we don't have that defensive capabilities with them anymore. Ericsson certainly doesn't provide that, but right now because we are in this injury crisis, that uh,
Yeah.
I don't see any other way. But yeah, I would give Aiden Heaven some chances, like maybe
Right.
like bring him on if we are in a good position in the game. Probably then give him some minutes, yeah, and just
Right.
play him out. Yeah,
I
Agreed.
think for
But
me,
good.
like if I was like if I'm being, see, I mean, one thing's what's Amarim going to do, and I think he's going to bring back Casemiro or Ericsson in midfield. Like one of them's going to be in there for sure, just
Probably going
because
to
of
be
his
both.
tendencies. Yeah, maybe even both. Very likely, actually. You're right. But uh, if I'm looking at it bigger picture and the fact that this we're anyway struggling this season, and it's not that Casemiro is going to really raise us much. I would use this opportunity to give rotation minutes to Sekou Kone and draft him in slowly. Uh, and I love that Aiden Evans shot. I'd give them both rotation minutes next
Yeah.
to, or maybe even play both, and maybe bring in someone like Jack Morehouse or Jack Fletcher from the
yeah,
academy.
yeah. These guys are
I think
actually in
Morehouse has
training.
been picked in the squad.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
are in the squad,
Yeah.
and just I've even heard that Sekou Kone was injured. I'm not sure if he has recovered and he's back. So just for that, maybe
He,
he might not be back in full training, but yeah, that might be.
Seku's actually like he has recovered not too long ago, but he has recovered and now he's played two full 90s as well. So
Okay,
like
okay,
his
yeah. Then
recovery is going pretty
he's a good,
decently.
yeah. He's a really good shot. Given that he that is actually the position that he plays already, right, in the youth academy. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
a good
and the
shot.
interesting thing is that the Academy Scoop, on Twitter, they're a very reliable source of news for United Academy stuff.
Yeah.
They're reporting that Chido Obi, Sekou Kone, Jack Morehouse, Harry Amas, and Eli Harrison have all traveled with the first team United
Yep. Yep.
squad this
Yeah.
weekend.
I saw that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Although to me, Morehouse is like a ball carrying 10, so I don't think he'll play
Yeah.
deeper.
Mm.
But I would not like to see Ericsson and Casemiro because we don't have any legs
Yeah.
and we don't get anything for the future. I'd love to see Kone getting some minutes in that position, or
No,
Yep.
agreed about
or
minutes,
Aiden
but
Heaven. Yeah.
agreed about minutes, but who are you going to start, right? I think that's the thing.
And I think if I'm being very realistic and trying to balance profiles, I'd put Casemiro and Sekou Kone in midfield. Keep
Okay.
Ericsson at the left end. I
Yeah.
think that's the most the most balanced one with some experimentation. Just because Kone has a lot of qualities that Casemiro doesn't, and
Right.
vice versa.
So you think Kone is ready to start?
I mean, we have Ugarte. Like,
And Ugarte is injured as well, I guess.
yeah, I think we're out of options now.
Yeah. Yeah. No, makes sense.
I agree with the Kone shout. I think he's actually I'm very interested in seeing his development, because he's the kind of DM that has like he's made the headlines for being uh, good with tackles and also being good with his passing range, uh, and also like he he definitely fits that DM profile. But right now I'm just not sure if he's like a player for a midfield three or a player for a pivot, which is what my confusion with him is.
Yeah.
But yeah, if he's in the squad right now, then definitely, yeah, that's a good shout. Yeah, putting Kone in there with definitely we'll get more on him. Like we'll get more data on him to assess.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So any changes up top, or guys still think Ericsson Garnacho there is the best shout we have for now?
Um, I mean, there's still a case for Cheeto, but I would keep Ericsson in there for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so I guess those that's our lineup, which the pod wants to start for Tottenham tonight, or tonight if you're on the eastern side of the world, tomorrow if you're on the western side of the world. But yeah, I guess this is the best we can do. Honestly, even is this side also winning the game? I'm not too confident. What do you guys think? Yeah,
I mean, we're not.
let's end the episode with a match prediction since we are so close to the Tottenham game.
Yeah,
I'll let
let's do it.
Sombi go first. Imagine, obviously,
Um,
Amorim is probably not starting this side, but let's say this side is starting, right? Let's say Amorim grants our wishes. This side
oh, if
starts.
this
What's
side
happening?
starts,
Yeah, yeah.
not that,
Best case
not that I
scenario.
think it makes. Yeah, best case scenario. I mean, realistically, Amram's gonna do something wild, like put Mazraoui in midfield. Like, it's not gonna be something
No,
like
I
this,
think
or
Bruno is going to be
Casemiro
midfield and
Ericsson.
Mazra is going to be a right 10.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
very probable actually. Yeah, Bruno's gonna play in midfield for sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
we could see a lineup where Bruno plays midfield with Casemiro and Jack Morehouse might play, but I'm being optimistic. So Tottenham have a lot of injury issues across the board. They don't have all their first choice central defenders. They have a 17-year-old kid at center back, who's not really a center back, Archie Gray. Uh, they have Heung-min Son, who is tired and running into all kinds of problems right now due to
yeah.
age. Um, they play a ludicrous high line under Ange. They are obsessed with it, and it often doesn't make sense. You know. So taking all of that into consideration, I see a 3-1 Tottenham win. Yeah, yeah. I'm going. I'm,
Okay,
I'm
so
going
the,
3-1 Tottenham or 3-2 Tottenham.
just to reiterate, this is assuming that this is the lineup that starts and not whatever Amorim comes up with.
Well, this is me assuming like like whatever Amarim's realistically gonna play. If we
No, no, I'm
play
saying
this
instead of
lineup,
the usual predictions, let's predict if this is the side that started today. What do you think is
oh,
the
I feel like it'd be a high scoring game because Mazda and Euro tend to get beaten on the sides a lot. Even then,
yeah?
and Dalo is gonna not track his man at some point.
Hmm.
That's you can, and Son's gonna be on that side, so that's not gonna be fun. So I would still say a high scoring game with this lineup. Maybe like a 2-2 draw at best, or a
Okay.
3-2 loss for United.
Hmm.
With this team, and if Amram selection plays, I see a 3-1 loss for United.
Okay. Ron, what about you? Amorim selection or this side? Predictions for both. Yeah, let's do both.
Just given how Tottenham are playing and how bad we are right now, I would go with the same thing what Somdeep said. Where with this lineup, I think we might end up like 2-2 draw. Uh, like we would concede very like very easy goals. We are very unavoidable goals. We would
Yeah.
just start off with that and maybe like grow into the game and then score something towards the end. But I think it would just end up in a 2-2 draw given how bad defensively Tottenham are as well.
Hmm.
Realistically, I think yeah, I think Bruno will end up playing at LDM and with Casemiro. Garnacho will play, and I think he will start Hoyland as well. Like
Yeah.
Garnacho will start at L10. That would be like the more realistic thing.
Yeah.
Maybe he ends up playing Morehouse. We don't know, but we'll see. Or maybe he would start Ericsson at right 10 as well. We can't say that for now. But even in that scenario, I think it might be a 1-1 draw. I don't think both teams have it in them to like really even if they get the chances, I don't think they'll finish it off too much. I think both teams will just try to score. 2-2 draw.
think we lost Rohan.
Yeah, like both teams not finishing off their chances. Rohan couldn't finish his sentence either. Oh, we have him back.
Oh, we have him back. Yes, Rohan, you are saying 1-1 draw if a realistic
Yeah,
Amarim
yeah,
lineup goes out.
yeah. If a realistic Amorim lineup goes out, I think 1-1 draw would be the result. Like that would be my prediction. I don't think both teams have it in them to like finish off. Like they might get chances, they might get good chances, but I don't think there'll be too much on both sides, and they'll just end up blowing them. So I
Yeah.
think it's gonna be like a very vague and very boring 1-1 draw for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, I think if this is a side that plays, I think, and considering Tottenham's issues at centre back, like Somdeep was saying, I think we'll probably nick it 3-2. That United would win 3-2. If we play this side, I think Garnacho will just feast on. Uh, I think Garnacho, Bruno, and even Eriksen to some extent would feast on that lack of solidity they have at centre back. But on the other hand, if Amorim plays what Amorim does, I think, as we often see, players hit their best form when they play us for some reason. So I think we'll see Son in like the form of his life after being off kilter. And I think we'll probably lose 3-1 or worse with a more usual Amorim side. But again, I would say expect the unexpected because Tottenham are also garbage. So who knows? Maybe Amorim gets us a 1-0 victory or something out of nowhere. Maybe we get a 95th minute Slabo winner. And
Quite
like,
possible.
yeah, like Harry Maguire just, heads in like injury time and gets us a win. Because,
Maybe
yeah,
another
like,
offside goal.
yeah, another. I mean, the Premier League does have VAR, so that's probably not happening. But
Yes.
yeah, I think realistically both teams are going to struggle to create anything today.
Yeah.
With this, yeah, I guess that's about it from us today, and we will see you all next week. In the meanwhile, don't forget to tell your friends. If you're seeing this on YouTube, please leave a comment on what you would like in future episodes. We have a lot of ideas coming up for more deeper analysis, and you will start to see that soon in future episodes. But yeah, do leave us a comment if you'd like to see anything more. Tell your friends, subscribe to the channel, follow us on all our socials. All the links are below in the description. And any final thoughts, Somdeep and Rohan, before we end today's episode?
Yeah, I think there's something in this channel for everyone, because if you love United, then you can come here to share the sorrows. And if you hate United, well, we're all dunking on United anyway. So by all means, come in and join us. So yeah.
Yeah, totally. All right, then. Yeah, Rohan, anything?
Just would like to say we are all just fans like you guys are watching right now, and we know how hard it is right now with United, but let's hang in there. Let's share these thoughts of ours, and let's hope for United to be good again.
Yeah, exactly. Who knows? Maybe Ruben Amorim is the next Sir Alex Ferguson. You never know, right?
Yeah.
I say while Somdeep snickers and curses me inside. Uh,
I'm trying to do the Ancelotti eyebrow, but I can't pull it off.
all right. On that note, we say goodbye. We'll catch you next weekend at the same time, either Friday night or Saturday night Pacific. And yeah, we will talk about the Tottenham game and also the Everton game if we do Saturday night. So yeah, that's it from us. See you in the next episode, everybody. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Goodbye.